now. Okay, we are supposed to be recording right now, live and direct on Zoom with the TRU-MON show with my brother DVG. How are you, bro?
All good, bro, man. Wicked. I'm really happy that we've connected, man. We haven't spoke to each other for a while. So
Yeah.
I love talking to you. So
Yeah,
happy days, man.
It's been a while for me too, doing something online, like pretty much a summer break, which sometimes is very benefic. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here with you today, and we're gonna talk about your new EP that you just released. That's the reason why I said we should get together. Is you just released an EP, and I've listened to it, and I was really pleased with the lyrics. Me, when I listen to the kind of music you make, it's for sure mostly for the lyrics, for the because you talk fast, and it's something you have to really give attention to.
Yeah, definitely.
And then as much like the first time I've listened to it, I'm like, okay, I got the essential part, but then you go and re-listen, and that's what I was doing today, and I was very pleased with the lyrics. So yeah, and it's not always easy to produce something like that. There's the process. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, like the process of your writing your lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a DVG Kiss of Death EP. Why
That's
Kiss?
right.
Why Kiss of Death? Just to start, explain us a bit what is behind that idea, Kiss of Death. A nice cover too. I like the cover. The sun in the background.
Yeah. Well, the Kiss of Death, it's got a couple of meanings actually. It's like one's, as you know, I'm a Scorpio, so that Scorpions is the Kiss of Death. So that's
I kind of understood that through the lyrics. Yeah.
That's one reason, but it's like it also symbolizes like coming into physical life is the kiss of death, because once you come into physical life, you're gonna die. So it also means that as well. So there's like a double meaning to it, basically.
Okay, and how long have you been working on that project? Just so we have an idea how long it.
Yeah. To be fair, brother, obviously you remember you interviewed me when I released my first mixtape in like 2016.
Yeah, that's your second one to mention.
Yeah, this is my second one. But like since then, like once I released my mixtape, I was getting like doing more feature stuff. Like obviously I've done something with you and over the Teacher D Dub. And then you hooked me up with Plastic Magic Records, and we done a track called High Societies, which is actually on iTunes. So if you want to listen to that, or you can go and buy that. And and I was doing like tracks with like just people here and there. And then, but while I was doing that, I was like writing just odd tracks, not for any specific project, just I'd write a track here, then write a track. And like over like maybe year and a half, 2 years, I thought, well, I've got 6 tracks written. Why not just make a project out of it? I mean, the whole point of you creating art is for people to hear. So it's no good if I'm just writing it and no one's hearing it. So I thought, I'll put an EP together. And this time, the particular sound I went for, I don't know if you noticed, it's got a very jazzy influence.
Yes.
Like the beats. Like I went for that specifically because although the lyrics are quite deep, I wanted the sound to be a bit more like appealing to not just people into hip hop and just people who like good music. Do you get what I'm saying? Because sometimes if you go like really dark and underground, like it puts people off. Do you get what I'm saying? So I tried to pick the beats that have still got that banging hip hop element, but I added like with that bit of jazz and soul to it. So like, for example, maybe a woman can listen to it that way if it's got a nice beat, not just for the guys, or do you get what I mean? But the lyrics are still deep.
Yeah, it's very deep, and that's what I wanted to talk a bit with you. The lyrics, the process of voicing your text also, like you say, it's good to put something into writing, but then voicing it either on music or something else, it's or
Yeah.
putting it into a book, like doing, because sometimes you think you're going to think of something, but it's not always easy to put it verbally. Like you
Yeah.
can go out and do speeches and all kinds of stuff, but the stuff you say will never be matching really the stuff you can write, because
Yeah.
once you can write something, you really take your time and you go into yourself. And then, because I've wrote a book too, and I'm telling you, there's stuff in there that I wrote that I never thought maybe I could say that just verbally in an
Yeah.
interview or
Yeah.
something, so it's very important, I think, the process of creation through text, lyrics, books, and stuff, because this is going deep. Like you say, you go deep, but you also go deep within yourself once when you write something like that. Am I right to say that? Or
Yeah, definitely, man. I think like, especially like on my first mixtape, I was quite personal. Like I said a lot of personal stuff on there, and like, and I've noticed actually, Yannick, like I actually find myself write easier when I'm going through a hard time, or if things that like, believe it or not, if I'm happy and everything, and someone says to me, I can't write a tune, sometimes I can't do it. It's just weird. It's like, it's actually like how can I say? It's an amazing tool for like transforming your emotions into something positive. Do you get what I mean? And that's kind of what it's all about, really. Because like, I'm a Scorpio and we're water signs, so we're very emotional people, and we like to go deep. So like, my lyrics are very. Sometimes someone might listen to them and think, oh, they're a bit like feminine, or they're a bit like depressing or whatever, but that's just me. If I'm not a depressing person, but it's just the way I express my emotions is in a very deep and emotional way, and that's just who I am at my core, I suppose.
yeah, no, like you say, writing lyrics or stuff when you are in a full positive, happy mood is not always the best. Like it's good to go through some tribulation in life and express what makes you come out of those tribulation, of those down moment, of because we all have uh, ups and downs, or I can say maybe highs and low highs. Like
Yep.
I say all the time, I have high, but I also have low highs sometimes, and
Yeah.
it's in those low highs that I think the most, and that I become more productive. Yeah,
Bro, you know what I've realized, like in a very like in the last year or so, like that. Even when something bad happens now, I just literally trust me, whenever something bad's happened recently, something always good has come out of it in the end. Like, whether it's a lesson or it's just, all these things are happening for a reason. And I think we need to stop being so uh like, how can I say, not get stuck on it. Just, okay, it's happened. Now what have I learned from it? Now how can I use this to move on? And I think that's humanity's like problem, like overall. Like, we dwell on our mistakes too much. I did this, and okay, you've done it, so just think about it, learn from it, and just try and move on and better your
exactly.
life. And that applies to all parts of life, whether it's your work, or whether it's your family, or whether it's your diet, or do you get what I mean? Like, we just have to kind of be stronger and just go for it, man. Fuck it. What you got to lose? Like, do you get what I mean?
That kick down the fucking door.
Exactly, man.
Stop knocking, kick down the door.
Uh,
That's it. That's what I've realized at one point. It's like you say in many of your songs is to go through your fear, like, go back to the basic. Like in
yeah.
one of the songs, we hear me in there, rise
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shine at the beginning. I'll play it a bit later, but yeah, that's what I got from it. But I don't feel uh, that your lyrics are depressing or anything like that. It's just a very present lyrics. I think you're a guy that's becoming very present. Like I don't want to say like I don't know you super well, but from what I know from you through your lyrics, you're present now. And that's very important, to be in touch with your truth, because you talk a lot. Me, I see you living your truth, because the truth, I don't think, like we've talked about it the last time, the truth is not something you tell someone, or something like, I think it's something that you live. You,
Yeah,
like I
man.
said, just try to be you in this world, and don't be fake, because the fake is the lie. So the truth is you. So that's how I see it. Just be you. Just try to be you. That's a huge challenge in this world. And without having your fear making you being stuck, like we said, and that you're capable to let go and advance in life, reach your higher self, if you wanted, like your real you, without all the alphabet soup nonsense in your head that's been put there. So, and that you're able to also find your words, which is very important, which is not a word that I like so much in the English vocabulary. I say it all the time, but which, and then you have witches, and that's something I don't get. But anyway, that's another thing. The
But
words,
yeah, you know what you just said about being fake is the lie and being you is being the truth. That's an amazing allegory, like, because if you're just being your true self and your true potential, that you are being the truth, because you're just being you. Do you get what I mean? So that's a
and
brilliant way to put it.
and the fakery, all the fakery I don't like to say we are victim of, all the fakery we let ourselves be abused by, is lies. So if you are fake, if you are a fake person, you are not living up to your full potential or your full
Exactly.
essence, It's a bit fake. So
Yeah.
you have learned also over time to live the lie. So that's very damaging. But I see very much DVG at his best. It's I was very impressed by the content, not the content, but the structure of the music, also the beats and that, and the lyrics together.
Yeah.
Everything matches. We can just listen to the first one. It's a Kiss of Death. I think the sound should be okay. Like I just prefer tell the viewers that are watching right now that it's the first time I do it with Zoom, with DVG on Zoom. So usually we used to use
Google
Hangout,
Hangout. Yeah.
Google Hangout. It was directly on YouTube, but this is a premiere, so but it should be okay. Like we did a few tests and it was positive, so we're good.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, so that's Kiss of Death. You put
Yeah.
the I am with it. I want you
Yeah.
to extend on it
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
I am and the, infinite synergy. And what I like too about it is it's not too long. It's very short.
Yeah.
It's not long
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's very short and sweet. And so
Yeah, because there's no features on it. I didn't have anyone else on it. I didn't want people to get bored of one song. The only long song I have on there is track 3, really. But that's one because it's like a proper like lyricist track where I'm just going in. So that's the kind of only long one that people might get a bit bored of. But
And
but I've got a lot of good feedback on that one from like the proper hip hop heads. They love that one.
yeah, and what made you put Kiss of Death #1 to Mary Jane? Like the order of the song, is it you that
Yeah.
just random, or there's a...
No, I will explain that now. Right,
Okay.
there's again, it goes back to astrology and the cycle of nature.
Yeah, I'm sure there is something.
So basically, I am each sign has a motto.
Oh, I just noticed that I feel, I balance, I build.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So basically, what I've done, I've just done the cross. Like, so #1 is Aries, which is I am. So that's why that track is a bit of aggressive. It's a banging track, like to start the mixtape with. So it's like that fire energy. So, and the motto of Aries is I am. So then the next one, the next part of the next cardinal sign where the next season starts is Cancer, which is I am. No, which is I feel. Sorry.
I feel.
Yeah, and that's when summer starts. And obviously, the moon rules Cancer, and Mary Jane is Mary, which is the moon as well. So, and it's about your emotions and your feelings, and it's an emotional song because I've written it like it's my girlfriend. Do you get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
what I've done, I've used the 4 cardinal points on the cross for each track. So, I am is Aries, I feel is Cancer, I balance is Libra, and I build is Capricorn. So it's the 4 cardinal points on the cross. So they're just different states of the cycle, basically. And then your track, Rise and Shine, is like when the sun's coming up again. So that's why I used it there. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, that's great.
So
The resurrection. I like
yeah,
Mark the
yeah. Do you get
resurrection.
what I'm saying? So it's like it comes after winter, so it comes back to the spring again. So I've done it like, go on.
And I just noticed something. The song is 307, and I told you I'm born in 73. It's in there.
There you go, bruv.
I didn't know. I didn't notice at first, but I just seen it. I'm like, hey, whoa, that's was meant to be. Yeah. And then you have the outro also back again.
Yeah.
No, and in the first song, Kiss of Death, because that's what I want to talk to you about, the lyrics in there and stuff. I listen many times to it, and I'm like, yeah, that's canon time. Duality, you talk about duality, you talk about the red and blue, the home is the heart, the higher self, or our higher state of purifying our soul, because I don't like to say that we can become higher being or higher self so much, because I don't like division so much, but really there is a higher soul, maybe a higher calling or something we can attain for sure. And you talk about infinite synergy. So what about all this, putting all this together? Like, is it the kind of song that you just sit one night and write it all in one night, or you go day by day and you came and say, oh no, I'm gonna, you sing it in your room, and then you say, oh no, I'm gonna add something? So
do you know how I write, Yannick? I could be on my phone, and I could be on YouTube, and I play a beat, and the beat's playing, and just something comes in my mind, and I start writing, and then it just goes on from there, really. Like, it could be that, or it could be maybe, like, for example, I'm writing to, like, an instrumental that has a particular name, and then I'll use that name for the first word, and then I'll just start from that word. Like, I do so many, I write in different ways, or I might write for a particular track. If someone wants me to write for their track, then it just depends, really. But I'm not one of them people that writes quickly. Like, some rappers are amazing. Like, they can just write an amazing verse in 15 minutes. I'm not really like that. I'm very, like, I take time, and I go back and I delete things, and like, I'm very fussy with my art, like, because I'm a passionate person. I always want it to try and be like at its best. So I'm not a quick writer.
would you say you were more of a quick writer at the beginning when you started to write, and then as it went on and you started to gain discipline and knowledge, you talk about that a lot, then you started to take your time more, because there is stuff you hear in your music that you will not hear from like more mainstream hip hop
Yeah,
or rap. Like, it's, you give hints, you don't tell, like I say, the whole thing. You don't, you just point to certain stuff
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
people should
yeah.
really look
Yeah,
at. Yeah,
I do talk in a very, like, how can I say, metaphorical and a
exactly.
philosophical way, but that I don't know why, but I guess that's just through the research and the people and what I've been studying, and again, I don't want to say it's because, like, I don't know why it is. It's just the way I write now. I guess it's just my more feminine, spiritual side of me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's very
because a lot of,
great.
like, guys won't kind of maybe admit to that, but if personally, if you're becoming a spiritual person, you are, I kind of say, tapping into your other side of you. So maybe it's just that. Do you get what I mean? And that's just the way I express myself, because it makes sense, because I'm a Scorpio, which is a feminine sign, and my sun is in the fifth house in my birth chart, and the fifth house is about expression and art. So
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm a very I like my artistic stuff and my poetry, and it's
That's what
just,
I
I
was gonna
guess,
say. This is poetry, really. So you
yeah,
must have taken a certain time also to write all this stuff the way you did, because it's not something I would write in 15 minutes, honestly.
no, you can't. It's too, like, yeah,
It's too metaphorical, and there's
yeah,
link in
exactly.
between the metaphor you make.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, yeah, no. I gotta link this to the beginning and the end, and like there is a work, there is a philosophical work, like you say, on it. It's
yeah,
very fun.
definitely. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, you know what you said about at the first,
Yeah,
bro. You know, when you at first, I couldn't stop writing. Like, you're so right. I don't know how you knew that, basically, but at first, when I first started writing, it was just pouring out of me. But I think because I poured out so much after, like, this second time, I didn't have as much content. But I think my content this time is much more better than my first content. Do you get what I'm saying? It's more like, I'm talking, like, for me, like, just when I listen to my stuff now, my first stuff, I love it. It was still good. But now I feel like, I don't know, I'm more comfortable on the mic, and my word plays better, and I've just got a bit, like, deeper as a writer and stuff. Do you get what I mean? And
yeah, you have
obviously,
refined.
it's evolution, isn't it? We all evolve and whatnot. But at the same time, people might listen to my first stuff and say, "No, I prefer you then." Like, everyone's different, but obviously, as a person, you feel like you evolve, so you always like your latest stuff more.
And as a writer, do you think today, you in this, where you are in your journey, do you give more attention to the word you're using also? Because like I said, especially in English, me, that's what I've went through writing my book, 33 Keys to Unlock Your Full Essence, is that I was so getting confused with words, because that's what we have to do. We have to find our own words and then clear the confusion. I think a lot of our confusion comes with words that we're using every
Yep.
day. The words is the spell. You spell words, stuff. So it's all, we have an alphabet soup in the head, and it's very important, I think, to find our words. And even if you have to make up words, make your own words. Have you come to that in your lyrics, like to
Yeah,
say,
like
oh
what?
no, I'm not gonna use, like we said, the word content, all the con, all the which, all the because there is a dis-spelling you have to do at one point. You dispel the words to take out a bit of the spell you have that you
Um,
bring on yourself every day with your words? Would you say today you're more attentive to the words you're using? That's
oh,
like,
definitely, man, definitely. I mean, I love etymology and
yeah,
studying words.
etymology and that. That's it.
I do it all day. Like when I see a word, I say, "Oh, break it." It's just so natural for me now.
Okay.
But yeah, like I do like, but sometimes I can write something, and I will just write it without like looking things up. But there's other times where I'll write stuff and I'm looking up words. What does this mean? So can I put this with that or not? Like it depends. Like sometimes it's just quick, and then sometimes it's more like it's like more of a process. Like you said, it's just looking at word. Like sometimes what I'll do if I'm stuck on a word. So just say I've got like this is just an example. So if I've my last word was hate, I would write. You can write in Google what rhymes with hate, and then it
Exactly.
tells you all these words, and then oh you think oh I can put that word, and then you can start again. Like so, I guess like having technology and things like that also influences the way you write. Whereas maybe 10 years ago, people wouldn't do that. Do you get what I'm saying? So
And
it's weird. Like I spoke to this with a friend about like how because I write my lyrics on my phone on Notepad on iPhone, and they're like, "Oh, how can you do that, man? Don't like." Don't you find it a bit more personal when you write it out on the paper and you can see the writing and it's got the emotion in it? I said, yeah, I totally get that, what you're saying, but at the end of the day, I don't care about what it looks like. I want it to sound good and I want it to mean something. Do you get what I'm saying? So whether I've written it on a paper or I've written it on my phone is regardless to me. I want it to sound good when I say it, and I want people to hear the vibration and the way I'm saying it, and that's what's more important to me.
yeah, and like you said with the word hate, that's one of the word that's coming back so often in the vocabulary, and like you say, you appreciate, like, but you go 8 people and you have 8 last night. I ate whatever you ate, and there's so much hate
Yeah,
in the words, but that's what has been taught to us also, to hate and not to love. To be hate instead of to be love, because even the word love doesn't come like when you say even here you have it, kiss of death. Okay, if I look at it, kiss of death, like it's of. To me, you say of death, so it should be written O-V-E to
kiss
represent the
of
word
yeah,
love. Then you have the word love
yeah,
of kiss of that. I know I'm not gonna make you change
yeah,
the title. That's
I
not my
know.
point. But I was looking for one off, and then we put the switch off. But that's the same off. But we say
Yeah,
like it's all been taught to us. Also, the way we pronounce the words and stuff. So yeah, so it's all part of
yeah.
it.
Because at number 8, hate. Well, is H
Eight,
and
number
8.
eight. Yeah.
It's the eighth letter as well, and the eighth is all about like it's not calmness and stillness like number 9 is I, which is like being centered, but number 8 is continuous vibration in it. It's red shift, blue shift, so it's just that constant noise. Whereas number 9 is more I, which is more balanced. So you get what I mean? That's where they do these little spells and
Yeah,
stuff with like
9
the
is more
gematria.
balance and stuff, and probably feminine.
Yeah, exactly.
Feminine.
The
That's it.
feminine.
And
Yeah,
number 9 takes 9 months for the baby to come out. So all this is
that's
not
it, man.
it's not a random thing. We know it.
Yeah, yeah, of course, man.
But I started, like you, to be in touch with all that stuff more deeply when I started to question the words I
Yeah.
was saying, I was thinking of, and then I started to decorticate all the words I was using in the anyway. I at one point I thought I was going crazy to question stuff. I'm like, am I going crazy? Am I going too deep here? But I think
Yeah,
that's whether you and the stuff about etymology. I did many TRU-MON shows with my brother Rosen.
yeah,
Rosen
yeah,
speaking
yeah,
on etymology. So
yeah,
at one point, when you go deep like that, you feel like you're pretty much there's not too many people going deep with the words and stuff, and That's why I prefer put it in writings than talk about it, because it's, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's just weird. I think, like, do you know what? I've always been a hip hop fan, like growing up and stuff like that, and I've always thought I'd love to express myself and whatever. And what I do basically is just whatever I learn and what's going on in my life, I just put it together, and then that's what my music is. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, literally, like, I write the way I write because, like you said, that's what I'm living about. That's what my life's about. My album's deep because I've been going deep within myself, and I'm trying to live a more spiritual and a more, well, I don't want to say righteous, but I'll say, like, I'm trying to be the best version of myself. That's what, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, to
That's
be
what
more.
it's about. It's not about being better than other people. It's just about, like what you said, being you and untapping your potential and being the best version of yourself, because, like, we've been dumbed down so much and programmed. Like you said, we're all living a lie, really, so that's why everyone's fake, because
Exactly. It's sad,
they've
but
been purposely dumbed down so they can't tap into their potential.
yeah, no, it's so important to not let go of our essence, but often we let go of our full essence, of our potential, just for the sake of the lies of Babylon. That's it. Because everyone also is pretty much stuck in there. So we
Yeah,
like to
man.
follow other beings and whatever they do. So yeah.
Yeah, man. We're all stuck in there, man.
Oh yeah.
Even us, the ones that supposedly we're trying to be better and we're trying to learn and we're trying to,
Oh,
well, like,
still,
we're all stuck in there. But the only difference is that we're aware of what the game's about, and
yeah.
we can kind of not work around it, but just work with it a bit, or work with it to our advantage rather than to their advantage. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's the only difference, really. Is just once you understand how the system works and how things work, it's not necessarily like mean you're going to try and save the world or whatever. It's about just helping yourself to become a better person, a better human being, and helping your family evolve, and and just spreading a good vibe. Do you get what I'm
Just
saying?
spread the
Because,
good vibes. That's it.
like, karma's a bitch, man, and that's just the way it goes, man. If you're a horrible person, or like you do bad things, it's gonna come back and hit you no matter what. Like, do you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying be really nice to everyone and all that, because again, if you're too nice, people take advantage of you. So we just got to find the balance of when to say no and when to say yes, but just do it in the most respectful way we can.
Treat others the way you would like to be treated.
Exactly.
It's very simple.
We actually spoke about that at work today.
Yeah.
That exact saying.
Always treat others the way you would like to be treated, and yeah, it should be okay. Because when
Yeah.
I look at others, I look at myself. So if I'm going on the road and I'm raging on the road and I call him a fucking idiot because he's not turning fast enough or going I've been that guy probably once, not going fast enough, not turning, because it's not my town or somewhere that I am that I don't know.
Yeah,
So, we
exactly.
don't know this, never that I'm taking an example on the road, but we never know what the person is going through in life and stuff. So
Oh, bro, see, you just
yeah,
said the best. That's what I always say. Like,
yeah,
even someone who just say, for example, someone killed someone, or they're a murderer or whatever. Right. I'm not going to say I'm going to be friends with that guy, but at the same time, I don't know the reason why that guy has become that way. Maybe he was abused in his life. Maybe he went through some trauma. Like sometimes we can't judge. We really can't judge no one but ourselves, and that's what I've realised. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
even the most evilest person, like, there's a reason for everything, and
You know,
it's just trying to understand. Like, that's what I care about more, Yannick. Now it's not about, oh, I want to be right so I can prove you wrong. I just want to understand people and why things are the way they are. I don't, whether it's good or bad, it is what it is, because that's just life. Some things are the truth but they're bad, and some things are the truth but they're good. The truth don't mean necessarily it has to be good and happy and rosy. Some truths are hard to take. Do you get
yeah,
what I'm saying? So it's just trying to understand that person's perspective and yeah, just be open-minded, man.
And your truth can be scary a little sometimes, especially if you have lived a fakery or lies all your life. For sure, getting out of
Definitely.
the state of mind will be a bit scary. But at the end, it's always better to be walking towards the light than stay in the dark.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely,
I
man.
just think that's what I'm doing. I've decided to let go of the dark, which is the fear and all the stuff associated with the dark spot that I had in my life and stuff. So you let go of that, and you just, like I said, it's not very complicated. Be you, just be you, and the world will adjust. And the one that are picking up your vibe, they will pick it up. Not everyone will like you. Not every like
Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
society and people in general are very immature.
exact.
Like you said, if you've got
Irresponsible brat, I would say.
if you've got a brain, you know that not everyone's gonna like what you like, or not everyone's gonna.
Exactly.
Really, these things are common sense, but unfortunately, again, look, see, I'm sounding really judgmental now, but it's just like you said, man. Just do you, and you can only do yourself, innit? That's it.
But you're gonna have judgment and opinion. Like, I don't think it's just if you're an opinionated person or judgmental person, just make sure you do it not in a negative way, in a positive way. Like, if I
Yeah.
judge something, or if
Try and help the person. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Or I try to know what I'm talking about before I start judging. Or so we're gonna go with the next one. It's Mary Jane. It's I
Yep.
feel. Mary Jane 2.1. Why 2.1?
Because in my first mixtape, I done Mary Jane, and then I recorded a Mary Jane Part 2. It was on a different beat. So when I recorded this one, the engineer said, "Should I call it Mary Jane Part 2?" I said, "No, I've already got a Part 2." So he's gone, "No, let me call it 2.1." So we stuck with that. So that's why it's called 2.1.
So Mary Jane. I like the
Yeah.
beginning
Yeah.
here for the occasion. Now you tease me.
Oh. Well, 1 second, I'm coming back, yeah? I have to join you. I'm not the selfish type, preferring just you and I. Lonely nights, submerged in celestial sights. Moonlight and romance, love it when you dance in the sky like the zodiac. Skinny or fat, in between the sheets. Shine bright like crystal green for the unseen. Many call you drunks, I call you love. Yeah, the hypocrites. Prior to a love, I had greed, lust for misery. Nowadays, here is peace, love and synergy. The birds from bees sing, trees unite as one. Hands down, dopest dope I've ever smoked. This is like if that blue oyster shit meant that Afghan kush I had, and they had a baby, and then meanwhile, that crazy Northern Light stuff I had, and the super red espresso souffle met and had a baby. By some miracle, those two babies met. But this would be the shit that they bred. Wow. Yes. This is the product of baby fuck. No hesitation, you get me elevated. I'll keep you undercover. No one knows we're dating. Keep you concealed, yeah. Don't wanna make it blatant. The feds and the government be hating. One day we'll both be free. You'll be amazing. I'll walk down the street where you're blazing. Blow your spirit into the face of them haters. You saved me from all of the fake shit. Open my eyes to the lies. Relate to those conscious minds. Ever since I met you, I picked up the mic. Spark those feelings inside, light up the sky. Mary Magdalene and Christ, visions with no sight. Third eye activation, force of jubilation. Revelation 22:2. Yeah, you're the healing of the nation. You're the healing of the nation. What you do? You write all three ends at the same time.
I like this. It's a terrific.
Woo.
Man, this is what your grandchildren are going to be smoking. Future. That future. That's amazing. Well, we got the weed in the bag.
Where exactly did you came up with all those incorporated messages? I can say.
What you mean? The sample I just used?
Yeah.
What that's from the film Pineapple Express?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, I had the verses and I didn't have a hook, like a chorus. And then me and my engineer, who I record with, shout out to my brother Cons, man, my brother from another.
Yeah, who's
man.
the engineer, the sound guy behind all this?
Yeah. But it's my brother Conspicuous, he's called, and he's got his own studio. It's called Stadium Studio. There's a lot of good artists record there, and he's got his own podcast. It's called Wrong Side of 30 Podcast, and I appear on there every 3-4 weeks. It's a video podcast, so you guys should check that out. It's called The Wrong Side of 30. We talk about some interesting subjects. But yeah, here's my engineer, and he's like, yeah, let's try and look at some clips in Pineapple Express, and we can just add it as the chorus. And then we just found it, and it fitted perfect, man. And it brought so much more character to the tune.
Yeah, of course. Mary Jane, it's Ganja tune.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
man,
great.
Definitely, man. It's been a big part of my spiritual journey. Well, it is the reason of my spiritual journey. So I had to. How can I say? It's a big part of my awakening. So
yeah,
I can write a lot about it and how it's affected me and stuff like that. But obviously, like because of like I said, my philosophical style of writing. I writ it like it is like having a relationship in a way. I know that concept of doing a hip hop tune about weed and it being your girlfriend. It's not a very original concept. Loads of people have done it, but what I'm talking about, which is my story, is original to me. So like the actual way I'm talking about it is original because it's relating to me, but the concept I've used is not original.
No, that's it, exact. The next one is Syncretism. This is a big one. It's the longest one on the EP. I think you have been doing a lot of that stuff, Syncretism. For those who don't know what we're talking about, Syncretism, maybe you can tell us what is Syncretism, first of all.
Yes, Syncretism is uniting all knowledge, all fields of knowledge back to one source. So it's just basically syncretism means that everything comes from one source and it's just branched out. So although things are divided, they all come back to the same root basically. So that's what syncretism is. It's about tying everything back to the one source basically. And like obviously the reason why I've called it syncretism I balance, because that's what balancing is being at the heart. So that's why syncretism relates with the I balance part of the zodiac wheel. So that's how that's a syncretism in itself.
Yeah,
connected. Yeah,
very important, like you say, to reach a certain balance at one point.
Yeah.
So
this tune.
Huh?
This tune for the listeners is just like there's no particular. It's not really about anything. It's just more of a, how can I say? It's just more about showing your lyrical skills and rhyming and metaphors, but at the same time I'm dropping knowledge, but it's not a particular story. It's just I'm just dropping knowledge like in little sections, and it's just all rhyming basically.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed in that song. It's a mix of a bit everything, but it's you drop knowledge in there. Man. We're gonna listen to it.
Yeah, that's my engineer.
Back. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Energy, real therapy. I talk the peace pipe, like Cherokees coming raw from the core. The rap battle, not on the bullshit. Warlords like Gangstar with a full clip, snake bearer. You can sever heads like Medusas. Targets locked by a computer. The evolution of transhuman ones and holes. Holes and holes, say 10 year, the binary code. Rock bombs with drones, man machine. Hybrid enemy, rises, killing it like Hades. Deep flow, shine like the 80s. Seven sisters know I'm knocking out a couple of piece of flows. I'm trying to get the upper hand, heading for the promised land. Right a section of Meridian, feeling black and blue like Dravidians. Lyrical cosmos, cannabis and even now my pen gains combos. Me and the mics like symmetry, bittersweet symphonies, the truth hurts. Too deep for the
Symphonies, the truth hurts.
with my contours, plastic rap cats get trapped and conform. The birth of the new wave, Aquarius age, resurrected at the 33rd vertebrae. I'm dwelled in the depths of a garter, heading for Medulla oblongata. This is the mothership macabre, vanquish the force of the devils that I harbor. My science transcendental, imposters with whips that's rental. Keep it 100, your days are numbered, the rap game's a joke. Nowadays, yeah, they label me the hope. This is verbal slaughter, rise like Jesus walking on water. I'm trapped in these borders, not a novelist. Metaphoric rhymes connect with the skies like my pen was a novelist. Strike like the ball of the Bosphorus, visions like Morpheus. Poet like Orpheus, painting portraits. Fuck up your fortress, the double-edged sword swing. London connections, my words and my weapons. Smoke seems like westerns, not the Smith and Wesson in the clouds of the heavens. Enhanced to cerebrum, life's like a pendulum, swinging from light to darkness, seeking the right path. With the guidance of Polaris, fist of the North Star, nuclear weaponry, toxic energies, enemies. Rap is my remedy, deliver high fidelity. Work zealously, different ends of the spectrum. Biogenesis connections, regardless of melanin complexion. Electromagnetic patterns from the moon to Saturn. Solar rays, atoms too deep to fathom like Prime D's dragon. So they gave us Adam and Eve. I'm dropping science on cheap MCs. 360-degree visions. I seek equilibrium, darkness and light. The cycle of life, the beat and the mic.
It's profound, this one. You can listen to it probably 10 times in a row and you're going to pick up different stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very intense, a very intense, like, literally, like, people could listen to that and think I'm crazy. That's how, like, how metaphoric and how, like, poetic it is. It's just, I have to, like, literally, I could spend half an hour breaking that tune down, what I'm saying and what this means and what and how, like, it's just, there's so many things in there, but it's just, I guess what I'd like people to do is listen to it and just literally, if they hear a word that don't know what it means, just go online and look it up and you'll know. You'll find out.
What I've picked up from it is the devils in the background. Beware of the devils in the background. The devils you harbor, that we harbor. The remedy also, I know for you, music, like that is your remedy. It's your remedy. And the remedy to what? Because you are aware of your internal trauma. Just
exactly.
like me and others that have realized the trauma that is to live the lie. You know, it's very traumatic for a person to, but positively traumatic, not in a negative light, but in a positive light, because you're gonna want to move out of that trauma and you're gonna find certain remedy. For me, was doing TRU-MON show and stuff, and like reaching out to others, and did a book like You It's Music. We all have something that we hang on to as a remedy to help us also purify our souls on the journey, and that's great. That's what I get from it.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's not, like I said, this, like, as much as I say it's not an ego thing, we all have some kind of ego. We can't.
Do
you get what I'm saying? Like, obviously, my aim now is, like, my aim as a person is to drop my ego, basically. That is, and I have done that a lot, but I can't say, I don't have no ego at all, because that would be a lie. Do you get what I mean? So, but my aim as a person is just to, like, I don't care, like, if I don't wear expensive trainers anymore, or I don't wear expensive clothes, or because the only reason I need clothes is to keep me warm. Whether this is £20 or £1, it's doing the same job. So, like, it's not about being, like, trying to show off. All this is about is, again, it's a remedy, and it's just literally, I want to help people. I want to give people little ideas and hints to go and check stuff out so they can enlighten themselves. And that's the problem I've always found with like we spoke about this when we like the other day before we done this show about how like when we first got on our journey, we wanted to preach to people. We wanted to say, "Oh, you have to look at this. Can't you see it? And why can't you see it? And whatnot." But once you become more mature and you become more spiritual and you look deeper into this, it's just some people will get it, some people won't. Some people are meant to get it, or some people are not. It's just the only thing you can do is just concentrate on yourself. At the end of the day, you can plant seeds. Whether they want to listen to it or not, it's down to them. And if anyone, for example, if you say something to someone and they deny it, but they know you're telling the truth and they don't act on it, they're only fooling themselves. Do you get what I'm saying? So they might say, "Oh, you're a fool," or "you're this," but at the end of the day, if you're lying to yourself, whether even me, if I know something's wrong and I'm doing it, but then I say, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with it," I'm only fooling myself. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
why. No, don't be a fool for sure. That's
Yeah,
why that we
exactly.
say all the time. But I like what you said about the ego. That we still that the goal is probably to drop that ego, and I think I have an idea where to go and how to be to not have that ego so present in my life, and or showing off externally of me. I think is the day that I will be very honestly kind and humble towards all beings of earth,
Yeah,
everything on earth. You're kind, and we are humankind. That's what they say, are humankind. Okay, why are we not kind to each other, to the animals? Like, this is the thing also. So I think the day that you become very, very much kind and humble towards all, and that's big. Being kind is not to pet the horse or the dog, or that's not being kind. Being kind is, for me, towards the animals, is first of all starting to respect them. And if you love animals, you shouldn't eat them, maybe, like, if it's not
yeah.
necessary. I know
Definitely, man.
I know for
Definitely.
some beings on earth that they have probably no other choice than to eat animals. And if it's done in a way, if the animals are not raised in the industrial way, I have to a bit watch what I say here now, and in this industrial manner, just for the sake of filling the supermarket aisles of all kinds of meat product, that's a different thing. But if you are living like here in Quebec, up north in Quebec, it's very cold. There's not much veggies growing there in the winter, so
Yeah.
people go hunt and they bring back
Yeah.
their food for them. That's a total different thing.
Yeah, that is definitely. But
Come on.
like you said, like most of us, we don't live that life, so
Oh,
there's no need for us to
exactly.
go around like because this is this is how stupid humanity is, like how contradicting it is. We make out we're this like we're this like advanced civilization and like this and that, but yet our eating habits is of the lowest nature. So you can only be one or the other. You can't say you're advanced and we're a free thinking democracy and all this, but yet you're feeding your citizens like death and blood. Where
Yeah.
if you're an advanced civilization, you shouldn't be doing that. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas, like you said, if you've got no choice and you're stuck in the desert or you're stuck in wherever in the snow, then
I
I
would
don't know. It's
myself.
survival of the fittest, I suppose, isn't it? Like, but most of us or anyone probably watching this who has a computer or an iPhone or Mac,
Live
I'm
in the
sorry,
city
but
or something.
you don't need to be eating meat, man. You just don't. And
It's because also we
again,
have so many alternatives, so many choices out there to replace the meat, and then you don't create harm also towards the animals. You might not have killed that animal in a slaughterhouse, but you're eating it. To me, you're processing the curse right there. So beware of what curse you process in life, but that comes to your being or to your awareness once you start also being more kind and humble and letting go a bit of all the program you have been put under and stuff that people told you it's okay to eat it. You have hated it all your life, and like at one point, yeah, changing the diet is very beneficial for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what you were saying about how we were just talking about the ego, like before.
Yeah.
Well, like again, I don't mean to be bad or to say this, but I ain't got like again, I don't judge, like, but sometimes we got to say the truth as well. And like for people that are eating meat, not all of them, they're not. See, the thing is, like, people who eat meat, they're not. I don't say they're bad people because, like I think intentionally, like most people who eat meat, like don't think, oh, I want to go and kill that sheep and make some like lamb or whatever. It's just because it's just been given to them. Like they've just become like addicts of it, like drugs, basically. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, I think that I kind of feel sorry for them, for us. We got tricked for so long, but I think once you come to that realization that like you don't need it or like but you still eat it, then you're doing it because you have an ego, because you think, oh fuck it, I don't care about the animal, I just care about my taste buds. So to me that means you have an ego.
Yeah.
Maybe the person might not admit it, but that is the truth, unfortunately. Because like go ahead, brother.
And like I said, if you like if I ask you, why are you not eating meat today, and you were because you were before probably just like me, but what is the reason? I think it's very easy to know the reason why people eat meat if you look at yourself today and you know the reason why you
of course.
today. Like it's much easier this way. Look at you and say, why I don't eat? Because today you are aware and conscious of what's going on.
Exactly.
So why were you eating it before? Because you were not. Simple. You were like a drone robot, just like me, doing what you always been told to do. Go to school and take your little cup of milk and this and that. You know, you're programmed very, very young to accept all the barbarian, demonic shit that's going on in the world. So at one point, you just keep processing that. And at one point, you become very, very not unconscious, because being conscious is the act of breathing. But you become very unaware of who you are. I think we have not forgot who we are. We didn't forget who we are.
Yeah.
We just have chose not to be who we really are for the sake of a programmation in your head, and that brings you to have that kind of behavior.
Yeah, I guess we've been put under a spell. Like you could say that. Yeah, we've been under a spell for so long, and once you break out,
we call it
once
meat,
you
MEAT, but then you go meet others, other beings, MEET. It's the same word.
Yeah.
Like,
but do you know meat though actually doesn't mean animal? Like meat, because like the meat, like for example, the you could say that the meat of a fruit, like,
yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, so meat doesn't actually mean animal, but obviously it does in our like modern day society. But what I'm saying, technically it doesn't. But
and again, that's the curse, the spell, because meat, it's dead animals. Don't tell me, like, because I can have meat and a coconut. You say the coconut flesh is the meat. Everyone knows.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's how I call it, the meat of the coconut. And then you tell me that the dead animal in the counter is, I should just call it meat. So my conscience doesn't freak out. I don't start to light up some lights, because if you go into a supermarket and you would say dead animal section, dead animal in slaughterhouse or something, and you put the TV and you put the people in front what they have went through, I'm not sure people that would be. It's just because the conscience, the presence is not there. That's how I was today. It's very, very not hard, but I'm as much subject to being under that temptation to eat dead animals and stuff because I've done it before. So to not go back there takes a lot also of discipline. You know, you
Yeah,
talk about
definitely,
discipline and
man.
knowledge in one of your songs, and that's once you have reached that state of awareness. Now after that, it's discipline, and that's
Yeah, man.
hard sometimes to discipline when the whole world is like almost not caring about that kind of stuff. Not too many beings
But
go around. Most eat all the stuff in supermarket, the box or no box or packing. Like
like you see, like me before, like when I used to like just say I got hungry or I was
yeah,
hungry. I be, oh, I'm starving. I really, I can't wait to eat. Now I'm not like that. I'll just wait, and when I eat because I'm not like I'm not fiending for it. I'm just more like I'm just. We don't even need that much food. Even food is overrated, man. Like, trust me,
yeah.
all we just need to eat a little bit and just to sustain, just to have a bit of like goodness and like. We don't even need to eat that much, man.
Like the other day, I was on the road with Kim, and we left here. I think 5:30. It's pretty much supper time, and we came back at 9. But on the way, I was a little hungry. But I don't want to stop into a restaurant. I'm not a restaurant eater. I prefer not to eat than go somewhere to eat. I never know what I eat. I don't like it. So I like to know what I'm eating. So I just stopped and got a pack of cashew, and I was fine. Like
Yeah, that's
where
it, man.
before I would have stopped at Subway or eat here we call it poutine. Like it's very popular in Quebec. The poutine, it's French fries, gravy, and cheese. You probably heard about it. Anyway, so I would have went for that. Poutine, j'aurais arrêté manger une poutine à quelque part or something like that. But today, no. Today I prefer, like you said. But I think it's just also getting older, maybe, or something. You don't devour stuff as much as you would. When I was younger, I was eating a full bread for breakfast, like full bread with
Yeah,
cheese
man.
whiz. Like
I've always had eating problems, like all
yeah,
my life. I've always like been
always.
food's been a very big challenge
Yeah,
for me in my life, and
like,
this is one of the main reasons why. Like, how can I say? Like, it's weird. Like, just in recent, as part, like in terms of like my spiritual development and my mental development, like I think like I also started thinking about my physical side as well. Like, do you get well? It comes hand in hand because, like you said, everything's connected anyway.
you want to feel
So
good in life.
yeah,
No,
like
that's it.
and like in like recent years, I've made improvements. I'm still got a lot to work on, but I've made some good improvements on like my weight and just yeah, I feel a bit more like lively and I don't feel so heavy and I've got a bit more, I don't know, just a little bit more spring in me, like at the moment, which
Yeah,
is
it's
good. But like,
you know,
again, I'm not trying to sit here and say I'm a health god, like far from, because I'm far from it. But I'm making slow improvements, and another thing, like what I think people don't realize as well is like when you start getting into like just say changing your diet or becoming more spiritual, and you think, oh, I don't understand this, or I'm not losing weight. It's not a race, man. It's a journey. Like it might take us years to get where we want to get, but at the same time, we just got to start somewhere and just keep going, man. Even if you fuck up, just whatever. All right, you fucked up. Just go again, and
you know, it's a habit. It's a new
you'll get
habit.
there.
You have to install new habits because the way you were eating before were just out of habit. Like you're used to eat this and that, and you eat it out of habit at one point. But if you install new habits, more uplifting food in your life, I'm not saying you're gonna start seeing unicorns and rainbows one day to another because you change your diet, but you're gonna feel better with yourself. Like me, I lost 100 pounds. Like you say, you've lost weight too. I was weighing 300 at one point, went down to 200 just with a better diet, more green food, and not. I'm not a freak on. Like I still eat chips. Me, I love potato chips.
Yeah,
So
same.
hard to stop. I don't know if I'm ever gonna stop.
Yeah.
But I'm trying not to eat them too much, but I'm still, because it's not because you're vegan that you don't have access to junk food. There is junk food too, like you
Oh,
can eat. Like
bro, trust me.
chips, it's you're gonna gain weight and stuff. So French fries, like stuff like that. Oh yeah, French fries is very okay, but it's not very good for you in the long
Yeah,
run.
now vegan doesn't mean healthy. That's a big misconception that a lot of people make. Just because you're vegan, it does not mean you will be healthy. That's one thing that
It's more a
like
label.
it's I would say it's easy being vegan, but it's hard being a good vegan.
Exactly.
Or do you get what I'm saying? And trust me, like what a kind of a strategy I made up for myself this year was just through watching a few people and whatnot and listening to what they say. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna lie, I can't go cold turkey and, like you said, not eat no cooked food at all, because even cooked food really is not that beneficial for us. So
yeah.
And so what I did for myself this year was I made a new rule for myself that I'm only allowed to have one cooked meal a day, and that the rest has to be like raw, so like fruit, vegetables, nuts.
Yeah, but again, look at if you would live like in Jamaica or in places that are really hot all day long, all year long. I know here in the summer, I don't eat hot food so much. I eat hot
Yeah.
food more in the winter. I love
Same.
soup. I like a hot soup, and I know in the soup you boil everything, so probably everything's dead at the end. But I love a good bowl of soup and the spag and the spaghetti and the stuff. So and you make again your sauce. You heat it up, but I heat that stuff. It's mostly for me like winter food, the hot stuff. Where in the summer I'm very very much salad and stuff and sandwiches and stuff like that. Then I think it goes with the season. Like
yeah, definitely.
You're in UK, you get cold weather and damp, and it's raining a lot in London all the time, pretty much. So, and especially in the winter, it must get at one point a nice hot soup, and a hot meal is always good. So yeah,
I had some soup that I made yesterday.
There you go.
Before the show, lovely spicy soup. I put so many spices, and I just it had. I'll tell you what I had in my soup. I had peppers, onions, tomatoes, lentils, courgette, potato, all blended, and with tomato puree, ginger, turmeric, crushed chilies, garlic, lime juice, basil. It was amazing. And like when I drank it, it was like I was on fire from the heat. I was sweating, but that spice is good for your blood and it's good for your heart, and it kills all the germs in our body. Like that's what I'm saying. Spicy food is really good for us.
My one of my remedy, and sometimes my children look at me a bit weird, but I really like the Frank's Red Hot sauce. You know, the red. I probably have it in UK also, the Frank's Red Hot. And I eat 2 tablespoons. I drink 2 tablespoons almost every day. So I because I know the cayenne pepper and stuff.
Yeah.
I drink that stuff as a syrup. So if they ask me at the end of my days if I live past 100 years old, I'm gonna say I drink Red Hot every day.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Spice. We need that spice. Also, like, just for people who are watching, like, for people that lack a bit of motivation or lack a bit of get up and go, man, spice really kind of gives you that kick that you need, man. It makes sense in terms of, like, again, going back to astrology, which I do a lot, but astrology is just nature. So, like, the red symbolizes Mars, and Mars is about taking action and, you know, doing things and, like, being like going for it. And so that's why that red spicy food, it gives you that kick because it's that energy of Mars. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Once you get to understand food and energy of nature and how things work, you can use it in so many beneficial ways. And
and all
like you don't need to go to the doctor. Yeah, and like exactly.
hot peppers, like even jalapenos, turn red in the end. And their most spicy and sweet taste of the jalapenos will be when they're red. But you go in the
It's
store, they're all green. Like they sell it to you green because they're in a rush to sell them to you and they would just want to harvest. But they should be red. Like I grown jalapenos myself this summer, and
it's
that's it.
funny you say that because I work at work. I cut vegetables all day. That's what I do. I work in a vegan restaurant, and again, yeah, we've got some jalapenos, and they're turning red as well. That's why I found it funny when you said
Ah, there you go.
that.
So let's go with the other song.
Yeah,
Mid station, I built. The I built again is the fourth cardinal
yeah,
song.
yeah. It's Capricorn. So Capricorn is like the mountain goat that climbs up because from Capricorn is the most bottom part, so you can only go up. So
Okay.
that's what like the meditation is about, rising above and like
Rising our energy. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
rising our energy, our
exactly.
vibe, our yeah, exactly. To
That's
not
what
be
it's about.
so to
It's
not be so
about like
miserable with life. Yeah.
yeah, it's about taking that negative and turning it into a positive, and that's literally what the track's about.
So the true treasure of life and the treasure of existence from creation till now. You know, you have to have a discipline to even be able to inherit the knowledge of the universe because the knowledge where man inherit without the teaching of another person, divine knowledge is stored in every man's DNA. Yo, it's full-fed empathy. I'm searching for remedies, junctions of energies, pain across the melody. I'm at the crossroads trying to find some balance. Light on my chakras, but I'm shaking like maracas. Penning metaphors, bring my full forms of egregores. My tongue's a double-edged sword. Every day I'm praising God, not religion, not division, syncretism, searching for wisdom. Look up to the heavens to see God's kingdom. Wishful thinking of facts. I'm high off the zodiac, stuck in a trap, deep into my soul. To find my way back home, I'm heading for the seventh zone. Peace within my soul. Yeah, there's devils out here that be hating. Yeah, there's devils out here that be faking. Yeah, there's devils out here that be snaking. But fuck all that, stay on my meditation. Yeah, there's devils out here that be hating. Yeah, there's devils out here that be faking. Yeah, there's devils out here that be snaking. But fuck all that, stay on my meditation. Life's got me spinning like we're living on a globe. Seventh level
Pull up, pull up.
Yeah, there's devils out here that be hating. Yeah, there's devils out here that be faking. Yeah, there's devils out here that be snaking. But fuck all that, stay on my meditation. Spinning like we're living on a globe. Seventh level meditation. Mind stay elevated. Medicated off the created, the biggest debate is who's the greatest. Stuck in a matrix of mental enslavement. Elevate your mind, ascend for the heavens. Better days beckon, years of reflection, material obsessions, confessions of many sins. Demons within, stuck in a hole called hell. Many egos, broken dreams. I'm trying to balance my chi with nature's scenes as a box of blow. Scorpion, eradicate four horsemen, shine bright like eyes through the vortex, illuminate the morbid, slay the Krampus, the lost mysteries like living in Atlantis. There's devils out here that be
Like we really feel the more mature DVG. Okay, me, I feel maturity in your text and your lyrics more than maybe before. But the other one before was something very powerful too. But I think as a man, you have grown up and you have come to realize certain things in life, and we can feel it, the maturity in your lyrics.
Thank you, brother.
devils out here that be faking. Yeah, there's devils out here that be snaking. But fuck all that, stay on my meditation.
Fuck all that.
Yeah, there's devils out here that be hating. Yeah, there's devils out here that be faking. Yeah, there's devils out here that be snaking. But fuck all that, stay on my meditation.
Yeah, man. Stay on my mid station. Too much hype in the world, too much nonsense. Stay on your mid station. Ascend. Yeah, for sure. And I really like the beats also that you have chosen, the rhythms. The more I listen to it, the more I catch it. And me, I'm more a reggae vibe person, but I like the rap and hip hop. Always did. I was a big listener of that kind of stuff before. Also, always been. So no, it's
But
just this is very refreshing. It's not the same. It's not like I said before. Mainstream hip hop.
yeah, no, it's not at all, man. It's far from it.
Yeah.
But
So
like,
that,
but I don't know, like if you see like how like for example, like this track is called Meditation. It's called I Build. But like the beat, if you notice the beat, it's got a bit of a not a sad thing, but it's like a very reflective beat. Does that make sense? Like the sound of it, it's like it's not a very lively and like happy beat. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I connected. That's why I named it like the I Build, because it's about like being at the bottom and like using what you have and transforming it to build. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's what Capricorn's about, and that's what like
you
that's
said
like
it's
Christmas.
yeah. You said it's jazzy or something. Me, I
Yeah,
find that the beats are like a bar lounge music.
yeah. And
Bar lounge. Yeah.
that's so mad, and that's I actually went for that. I did purposely go for that vibe because, like I said, I wanted it to be a bit more. I didn't want it to be like too. It's still dark and deep, but I wanted it to be a bit more appealing to people. It's weird. I can't explain.
Yeah, it's the kind of music I would listen into a bar lounge, relax, having a drink or a nice
Yeah.
meal, or yeah, no,
Yeah, I wanted it like you know what you said about maturity and
yeah.
being mature.
Oh, we
That's what
feel it.
I wanted a bit more of a mature sound, but that is
Yeah.
kind of what I went for.
Yeah, no, and we feel it, and I'm sure the next one will be yeah, like you grow in life, and yeah, you
Yeah, man.
expand your perspective and your visions, and like you say now, you see 360 degrees, so there's not much that's you're not gonna, and you observe more than before. I think with observation also we come to realize a lot. It's not just talking and stuff. It's observe the way other beings behave and stuff, and yeah, and the way you behave, observe yourself, observe your mind, observe your soul, and yeah, observe, it's a nice word too. Rise and shine. Now this one we hear me at the beginning, and that's a remix of a song you made for me, because this is the original Rise and Shine. The original one, I think, is on one of your composition before. You had it, but then you said, okay, we're gonna do it a hip hop reggae version for me. So it's on my SoundCloud. You can find it there, DVG Rise and Shine. You go on SoundCloud and just do DVG Rise and Shine, and it will come up. And it's a great track that you made for sure. And I was very pleased to hear it the first time, and ever again after. Every time I listen to it, it's always a good vibe, and that's it. And I say that I don't have problem with children afraid of the dark. My freaking problem is adult afraid of the light. That's the
Yeah. When you know what,
problem.
Janik, I thought like obviously because we did the reggae Rise and Shine with you,
Yeah.
and I thought, you know what, I thought I want to do like a hip hop version. So I thought like I've done the original tune with you, so I thought how can I incorporate you within the tune? So I was just like watching the show that me, you, Lily, and Rob done, and you come up with that line. I thought, wow, that is a line. So, and it goes with the Rise and Shine. So I just thought I had to incorporate you in it because obviously we did the original track with you and that. So I thought I wanted to incorporate you in it somehow, and it just fitted perfectly, man. And
Yeah,
yeah,
and
that's yeah.
it's very much a reality that we are afraid of the light. Many, like I just observe, and you will realize that we should walk a lot more towards the light than stay stuck up in the dark existence. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Woo, woo, woo. Powerful. teacher D.
Surrounded by voices, blinded by
Choices. In a state of hypnosis. Focus.
feeling hopeless, surrounded by
Mind that book and then
visions of heaven. I'm devoted, spark the pole and set the wheels in motion. Peace be my motive, but
take no shit from no prick.
I'm trying to get my fate lit.
Stay away from fakeness.
Penning greatness, building
Foundation, my braces, my brothers. UK, Canada, Jamaica. DVG, killing it, teacher D. Powerful.
in the morning, I'm feeling free. Thank God I got no one to please but myself and me. Rolled up lemon trees in the park. Half light and half dark, life in the balance. Past times were tragic, but life is what you make it. So I had to change it. Now
Going back to the basic. Why is it stopping? That's been doing that. It's Bandcamp.
Are you playing it off Bandcamp? Or are you
Yeah.
playing...
I shouldn't. I downloaded it, but I wasn't finding it in the folder. I don't know what happened, but I don't know. Decided to stop now.
That's all right.
Anyway, we can
Yeah.
talk. You said
Yeah.
the main. At one point, there's like a why at the end. Why? That's my question. Because you stop talking, you start saying your stuff at about 2 minutes 11, something like that, and then to 2:11 to 3:07, there's only music and stuff. Why not cut it shorter? What was your idea behind that?
Do you know what? I just like the rhythm, and I just
You like
wanted
the
to
beat,
let it.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I just wanted to let it roll out because really, it's kind of like. To be fair, before I done the outro, that was going to be like the last track, so I kind of just wanted it to roll out, like kind of thing.
Okay.
But then what I did was like, I read that you see the Back Again track, which you're going to play. I'm gathering you're going to play. I done it as an outro because basically it's like what I'm doing is just like I'm making a rhyme out of all the names of the tracks because I say. For example, I'll just say some of the lyrics. I say, I'm back again with the pad and pen, strike with the kiss of death. So that's one of my tracks. And then I say, pinpoint precision on a mission, Mary Jane by my side. So that's another track on my album. And then I say, spark one and fly, special zoom wide-eyed, rise and shine. So then I'm naming another track. So I've made a rap out of all the names of the tracks.
Oh,
and made it a verse.
Yeah, because in the Back Again, that's it. I hear all kinds of reference to the other tracks before.
Yeah, because that's what I'm doing, basically. It's like a summary and like all of the tracks, and I've made it into a track, basically.
Wow, it's so different to hear from you the way you made it and that. Then, because even the ones that are going to watch this and hear you after, they're going to be like, they're going to listen to it in a different... with a different perspective than just if you go and listen to it.
But that's the idea of that's the idea behind my thinking of why I've done it. So it's like a little concept. See, I do little concepts that people might not actually get until I explain them. But that's what I'm saying. Like behind my music, there are layers like of why I do things the way I do. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's just like.
You're not the random kind of guy.
Yeah. Like there's a method to the madness, but the thing is, obviously, people's not in my brain, so they might not know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, like, unless I'm asked, I'm not going to start. Oh, this is why I've done it. Because like, with my music, I don't like to brag about that. I do music or whatever. I just, if people hear it, they hear it. If they don't, they don't. Do you get what I mean? It's not like, you know, I don't want to say, oh, this is why and whatever, because some people might not care.
Who seek
exactly.
Will find. That's what I tell myself all the time. I don't self-promote myself that much because I don't not believe, but I don't trust in that so much. I think who seek will find. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, like, and so, yeah, that's just basically, although you haven't played the track yet, that's basically...
I'm going to play it now. Then. Let's listen to it.
Yeah.
Years of rage and fire. Pick up my pen, exposing liars, stuck in waters, run by pirates, false flags and tyrants. I got tired, stepped out the frame to re-enter the game, sparked up the flame, found out pleasure was pain. Back again with a pad and pen, scribe with a kiss of death, pen and gems, pinpoint precision on a mission. Mary Jane by my side, spark one and fly, special soon, wide-eyed. Rise and shine, raise up your vibe, quit stressing. Life is a blessing, one step ahead, I'm second guessing, taking it back like procession. 7 steps ahead, I'm stay meditating, but all the haters. I'll kick it with the greatest minds alive. My mind's eye on high drive, highly defined like silhouettes and skylines. Weak rappers forfeit, taken in the earth's orbit. Too many visions distorted, blinded by the lies, trying to set higher heights. All I see is conquering the vision, heading back to source, so I call this syncretism. On the odyssey, my words not prophet or prophecy. Weak MCs made a mockery like the monarchies. Fuck kings and queens, I stay lit and lean and hate my dreams. Bloodlust kings. Savages, that's why we pay back to the Vatican, the serpent in the garden. False guardians find me chilling on my one-spirit husband, raising up the bars and dancing. Yeah, my words are enchanting. I'm rising the heart of a lion. Years of rage and fire. Pick up my pen, exposing liars, stuck in waters, run by pirates, false flags and tyrants. I got tired, stepped out the frame to re-enter the game, sparked up the flame, found out pleasure was pain.
I'll explain that.
Pleasure was pain.
Yeah, that's basically like, again, you see what we was talking about, like how before when we used to eat meat, how pleasurable it was. Oh, yeah. But really, once I sparked up the flame, I found out really that was pain. It wasn't pleasure. That was, do you get what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by that. Like, I'm just talking about like everything I used to do, which I thought was pleasurable. I was only really doing it because deep down inside I was in pain, and that was my way of.
Oh, for sure. No, I totally agree.
Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah. That's the meaning behind that, basically.
No, a great EP. And now, what's your project to come? Now, what are you? Are you just putting it on Bandcamp? Do you have project with it, like releasing it? Are you on Spotify? Can we find this on Spotify and stuff?
No, because unfortunately, because the beats are not original, and I've just used other artists' beats. It's just a mixtape at the end of the day, so okay. I can't really put it on iTunes and things like that, and until I do an original project, which is probably like I've done 2 mixtapes now. So really, my next project, really, I should do is like try and do a project with actual producers who are making me original beats and stuff like that. But it's weird, man. I don't know. At the moment, I don't have much to write about because I've got it all out of my system. But at the same time, I've kind of just started a new chapter in my life, and you know, so I don't know, man. I'll just see how things go at the end of the day. I mean, I've had a few people already like say to me, like just after releasing this, oh, we need to do a track and blah, blah, blah. So you never know. It might just be me like featuring on other people's stuff for now.
See what comes out of it. That's
I mean, like a few people have reached out to me. I don't want to say names because I don't want to say it just in case it don't happen. Do you get what I'm saying? But like... Yeah, man, like...
Anyway, I have reached out to you and I'm here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll just see how it goes, man. There's no, like...
Others will reach out to you, I'm pretty
sure. Yeah.
No, it's a masterpiece for sure. It's would you say that this is a turning point into your... I don't like to use career because a career en français is a carrière, and a carrière is a big hole in the ground. You know, a career, but even in English, I think you use the word career when you go dig into the ground to make, and then water comes up into this often in a career. Anyway, so that's why I don't like to use the word career so much. I'm not into digging holes, my life into a hole, but in your journey, more in your journey. It's better than career.
Yeah, man. I mean, all of these little points of me releasing a particular album or
They're all
show,
turning point, exact.
but yeah, this one, this project, like the difference between the first project and this project is like, my first project was like me at the start of my journey.
Yeah.
Like where I just like found out things and whatever. And I feel like now I'm like you said, it's just the more mature me and the more like it's like I feel like I've set out I've achieved some results of what I originally set out of why I was doing this. And do you get what I'm saying? Like at first I felt like when I was writing, it was good knowledge and stuff, and it was more about like exposing the elites and like the Illuminati and that. But this one is a bit more spiritual and a bit more personal, and like it's more philosophical, and I don't know. I prefer this one, but that's just again because an artist will always like their latest stuff. But they're both. I love them both because they're both me, but just me in different stages of my life. So
we're gonna leave each other on the dub plate that you made for me. I think
definitely
last year, something like that. It's on the rhythm of
Teacher D.
No, Teacher D, but they gave by what's the name of
The producer. I'll say it in the track.
You say it in there. He's from Switzerland. It doesn't come back to me. I have it on my tongue, but anyway. Crank up! Living in a state of hypnosis. Weedy G. Weedy G.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And on the focus spot, the moving. Set the wheels in motion. Please me my mode if it take no shit from no brick. Stay away from fakeness. Masons connect with my brothers. UK, Canada, Jamaica. TRU-MON, DVG, killing it with Teacher D. 6 in the morning. Please, but from me without lemon free. So I was told ignorance is bliss. Yeah. Divine. Follow life, passion. Follow your heart, follow your path. Yeah, man. Rise and shine. Life is a blessing. TRU-MON, DVG. The dub plate session. Said rise and shine. And you're intense. Blessing. TRU-MON, DVG. It's a dub plate session. Rise and shine. Boom. It's a dub plate sessions. Yes. Yeah. All the fakers. I like the voice in the end, like that. Weedy G.
Yeah.
Shen Academy. Oh, it's wonderful. Look at my brother TRU-MON. Fire upon Babylon. Of the knowledge and the truth. Oh, it's great. when I listened to that the first time, and the beat when me,
Do,
it's
do
when
you know,
I heard the rhythm the first time, but the time I knew exactly what rhythm would be good, and that's a bit of hip hop reggae.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what? That's something like compared to all the tunes I do. That's the most differentest track I've ever done. It's not something that I would usually record on, but I love reggae music, so that's why
yeah.
it
It's
went
what
well. I had a reggae and a hip hop vibe, and like,
because
yeah. Respect to Teacher D for letting us and Weedy G for letting us use it, man.
yeah, we DG Teacher D. It's that the rhythm come from Teacher D. When he made the plate for me, I asked him to get the rhythm because I was thinking of someone else like you, and I was like, oh, that would be good for DVG, and so I said, yeah. I was very grateful, always very grateful for everything that have happened to me in life, and especially for coming to have this great. I don't want to use the word discussion. This great opportunity to have this chat with you today here on
Yeah,
the
to
TRU-MON
build.
show.
We
Yeah.
called it a building. We always building, innit? Every
Build.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
This
a
build
great
up.
build.
This build up.
Yeah.
Build up. Can we say build up together or yeah?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
Okay. Me, I'm French first, so sometimes I look for my words a bit in English, but I'm okay to easily have a.
Bro, even if you say it wrong, I know what you mean, so it doesn't matter. Do you get what I'm saying? I know what you mean. So
Do you speak French a little bit, Mehmet? No.
the only French I did was when I was in school,
Yeah,
and
because you
that was
learned
it.
French in school, no?
Yeah, we learned French and German. Yeah,
Okay, so
but
but it's
I
far.
remember, like, obviously, un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, huit,
Ah,
neuf. Like, I remember the like numbers
okay.
because some of the words in French are same as Turkish, like cravat. You said like,
Same as
and,
English also.
yeah, and pantalon, these trousers
Yeah.
in Turkish.
Oh,
So like,
pantalon. Oh, yeah.
yeah. So this, and we say merci for thank you as well sometimes. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. There's some similar words, like, so that's why I always like. But German, for it, like, it's like I learnt German more. It's like I got it more because, believe it or not, German has a lot of similar words to English as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I like thinking about it now. Like, I understood why I used to like German and French because I love languages. So,
Exactly. So thank you very much again for coming today and share your insight on your EP and everything. That's it. This will be available on the TRU-MON show very soon tonight. So it's not recorded live, but it's not. It's no difference for me to do things live or recorded. It's always the same spirit, the same vibe.
that's
So
it, man.
thank you very much, DVG, and we're gonna see each other again in the near future. I'm sure about that.
Yeah, thanks for having me and giving
Yeah.
me the opportunity to talk about it,
Alright.
and just not even about the music, bro. I just like connecting with you, man, because
Yeah.
I've got a. With me, I'm a person that once I have a good special connection with someone, I'm always loyal to them, and I like obviously like what I'm saying is we've got a nice connection and we respect each other, so that's how it's always going to stay.
Yeah, and our soul are at the same level. Like we can talk about, like we have a bit of awareness of who we are, each other, so it's much easier
Yeah, man.
have to do a build up. Yeah.
Exactly, definitely, man.
Boom. We're out. See ya.
Peace, man.
Peace.